Hey drummers, I'm Jim Linsner along with Danusha Beats on the video and editing. You know, a great way to create a linear groove is to start with one of your favorite kick and snare patterns like this. Next, instead of playing eighth notes or 16th notes on the hi-hat, you just want to fill in all the missing 16th notes with the right hand on the hi-hat. Now it's also possible to fill in those missing 16th notes with both your right and your left hand. I'm going to play an example of this, and I want you to notice that my right hand still plays on the hi-hat and my left hand still plays on the snare, but the left hand's playing a lot more notes than before. The 2 and 4, the backbeat, is really loud, and all the other notes are ghost notes, really soft. Check it out. So wow, it's like a completely different groove. It sounds so much different than the one that you just had all the missing notes filled in by the right hand. Okay, now that we know this groove, let's have some fun with it. This time, I'll play the right hand on the cowbell instead of the hi-hat. Another great orchestration for any linear groove is to play your right hand on the bell of the ride cymbal and your left hand on the hi-hat. Of course, you have to bring your left hand over to the snare for the 2 and 4. And the other thing is, because you're playing the hi-hat, you don't have to ghost all those left hand notes. They can be a little louder if you like. One of my favorite things about linear grooves is that if you take the right hand off the cymbal and move it to the toms, you have instant cool drum fill. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to play a 2-measure pattern. The first measure is going to be the linear groove with the right hand on the bell and the left hand on the hi-hat. And the second measure, I'm going to move the right hand to the toms. Specifically, I've got 5 tom notes. 2 on the small, 2 on the medium, 1 on the floor. Check it out. So I absolutely love that fill, and a good thing to know is you don't have to be playing a linear groove in order to play a linear fill. You know, you could be playing a straight up 8th rock groove, but you know, instead of playing just a regular fill, play a linear fill, and it can sound really great. And especially this one, because you don't lose the momentum of the groove. You still have the kick and the snare pattern, but you just have these tom notes coming in at really wild places. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you an example that I play 1 measure of an 8th note rock groove followed by 1 measure of that linear fill. Check it out. All right, so that's Linear Drumming Bootcamp Part 6. I know I went through this very quickly, and there are a lot of choices to be made to come up with a linear groove where your right and your left hand fill in all the missing 16th notes. But what I suggest you do is write down your favorite kick and snare pattern, or a kick and snare pattern that you use a lot, and then write down the hi-hat for all the missing 16th notes and play it with your right hand. Get used to that, and then try writing down some combinations of right hand and left hand filling in the missing 16th notes. Now, every time you have 2 consecutive 16th notes, you could play it right left or left right or right right or left left. And I know that's a lot of choices, but just give it a try. You might come up with something really magical. And if you're looking for a more detailed explanation about this type of process, I totally recommend you go get Yost Nichols' Groove Book. He talks about how to come up with linear grooves as well as many other grooves. Very cool book and very helpful. So, I'm Jim Linsner. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.